Recording.
Great. I was curious. I know you always like to hang, but fix it. And I was like, oh yeah, let's see if we can really do it. That's great, but
Yeah, but I can't eat it. I'm gonna make my Gemara hummus.
But it was the fact that he asked me. The fact that he asked me, you know somebody who can take it. I was like, yes, I know someone who can take it. You would have said you know somebody who can take it. I would have said, yeah, no problem.
I brought this. Okay.
Sit down here.
We're holding by Nun Zion
Here, bro.
Aleph.
Yeah. 57.
You okay? Byron, you want to come sit over here? Yeah. Okay, Amar Abasi. The line, it's you see the wide lines.
Say out loud and verbally.
11 lines in the wide lines down. Amar Abasi. Plus Maya. Alfei Shlichi. Let me look at yours. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's right on top of 321 in your Gemara.
It happens.
Let me do this. Okay.
57A already.
So it goes like this. Amar Abasi. Rabasi says. Alfi Shlifi Saifa Island Termalka. There were 300,000 unsheathed swordsmen that came into Termalka. The Katlu but plus Yaime the plus Elbasa. And they killed for 3 days and 3 nights. On one side was rejoicing and partying. But there was such a big area that people didn't know what was going on the other side. Know what was going on. Okay, that was the end of this Tormalka. We were talking about that because of a rooster and a hen, Tormalka was destroyed. So we gave the story. It's going to go on a little bit more about this. It says now, Bila Hashem, is it Bala Hashem or Bila Hashem? Bila Hashem.
Bila Hashem.
Hashem like swallows or destroys. Doesn't have compassion on the homes of Yaakov. When Rabban came, he says, these are the 10,000, I guess that means 600,000 cities. That King Yanai had on Tormalka, which is called Haramelech. Rabbi Yehuda said, he had 600,000 cities in this mountain. Every city had 600,000 people in it. He had 600,000 cities. That's a lot. I don't know, 36 something. Billion? I don't know.
No, a lot of zeros.
Okay. So, except for 3 cities that had double Kibbutz Mitzrayim. That means those cities had 1,200,000. Elohim, these are the cities. Kfar Bish, Kfar Shechlayim, Kfar Dichria, Decharia. Those are the 3 cities that had double. Kfar Bish, why is it called Kfar Bish? Bish means bad. Why is it called bad city, bad village? Layavi base of Lishpisa, they would never let people stay overnight. They would never give they had no guest house. They didn't have anyone. No one would let people stay. Kfar Shechlayim, why is it called Kfar Shechlayim? Shechlayim is cress. It's a like a little leaf. It's a leafy thing. Right, Professor? Cress?
Sir, cress.
The type of leaf, like a grass. Shaisa parnasasim in shaklayim.
Not here.
Person?
The fermentator is.
Is that really?
Yes.
Okay.
We're bringing it tomorrow, right?
Okay.
Like a salad.
You have to check it. The village of the males. Rabbi Yechanan says, the wives in this city, they would give birth. First, they would give birth to a male, then they would give birth to a female, and then they would stop. Now, I don't know any comment on that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know that was orchestrated, or if that was naturally the way it
That
went.
was the population control. That was the problem.
Uh-huh.
That they
Okay.
limited. They said they limited.
Uh-huh.
Like China.
And what is the influence on? What is the emphasis here? That first there was males, then the females. They stopped because they had the females. They said, okay, no, we don't want them.
One stop and one female, because they wanted.
I know, but there was the first and the second.
They probably say that we just didn't mention.
Okay.
How do they control it? That's the idea. Do they kill it? The second was a boy.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
Those days they had something. It was called mishtamish b'moich. They would put in a cloth inside and that would catch the shouldn't.
How do they know if it's coming out? Be a boy or a girl? The second.
No.
That's not, it's once they had a
For
girl,
what-
they stopped.
Right.
Yeah, apparently I don't know how they figured this out, but there was automatically they had always a boy first and then they had a girl.
Oh,
that. I don't.
they stopped. They never had more
Was it
than one
girls
boy.
first?
Yeah, and then they
never
stopped.
had-
No, they could have had two boys, three
Right,
boys.
supposed to
Ten
have girls
boys.
first?
No,
As soon as they had one girl. It's gonna be-
Yalda Secharim. Oh, maybe.
Girls first, right?
No.
Yeah,
Blessing the world.
yeah. Go first is better.
Can't really
Well,
tell
they
if
know
they're
how to
talking
do that.
plural- Talking about plural.
Right. I don't know if it's the plural.
If it's
General?
plural because you're talking about plural, or
Or
if it's
it's-
plural.
Yeah. What do you call that when you said there's a plural? Each one only had one, but it's the plural of the general of everyone. Okay.
Because the
Amarula.
limiting factor is the girl. And they could have a boy first, because he should teach.
Right.
Amarula.
Ula says, Didi Chazili, I saw that place. We're talking about these cities that had 600,000 people. River Sakani couldn't even hold 600,000, 10,000 reeds. That's how small the place was. You're telling me I had 600,000 people, you couldn't even put broomsticks in there, 600,000. Amalei Yahut Tzeduki Rabbi Chanina, this Tzeduki says to Rabbi Chanina, Shakuri Mashakrisi, you're just a bunch of liars. You're telling me about how many people were there. You couldn't even fit reeds in there. You have a Humina? Oh. So I have an old Gemara. Yours is the real one. Humina means that it was an early Christian. I have a Tzeduki.
This one has it as a heretic.
The heretic, yeah, that's the corrected version. I have the censored version, so it's not accurate. I have an older Gemara here. Okay. Amalei, so Reb Chanina responds, Eretz Tzvi Ksivba. The land of Israel is called the Eretz Tzvi. Now, Tzvi means desirable, but he's saying what it means, like in Aramaic, the Tzavi. Tzavi is in Milan. Well, he's translated to mean as a deer, but that's not what the pasuk means. Eretz Tzvi, it's a pasuk in Yirmiyah. If you look up the pasuk, I think it means the desirable, the wanted. Matzvi is in our Maskas Pasare, just like a deer, that the skin cannot contain the flesh. See, what turns out by the deer, when you skin the deer, it shrivels up, it shrinks up, and then you try to put the animal back inside the skin, it won't hold it. So too, Eretz Yisrael, when the people are in it, it's expanded, but when the people leave it, it shrinks up.
Oh, wow.
When I went to Eretz Yisrael, so I saw a guy from the Kollel that I recognized. So it was flying halal. Anyway, so I went. They said, Eli Smith, come to the desk. Anyway,
Rabbi Eli Smith?
I went up over there. They said, "Where's your bag?" I said, "I left it with my friend." It's what's his name? I said, "I don't know, but I know him from the shop." They said, "Okay, take your bags and go into that room." Anyway, they allow, you don't leave your bags with anyone. Anyway, so I'm sitting in there. And sitting in there. Anyway, I get on the plane like almost last. This guy gets on the plane even after me that was sitting there with me. He said, "You won't believe what happened." I had a pillow and a neck pillow. One of those things. Anyway, these security there, they take out all your stuff and then they try to put it back. So they open up this neck pillow and apparently you have to fold it a certain way to fit it into the bag. They took him like a half hour to fold it. So the guy comes and says, "They can take apart a bomb, but they can't put my neck pillow." Anyway, so yeah, to fit it back into this thing. Okay. That's you open it up, it doesn't come back. So when the Jewish people are on the land, it expands, and when they're up at Gamda, it shrinks. Very
similar thing. When the Jews were in the land, it's fruitful, and when they're not there, it's all barren desert. That was his observation.
Right.
Mark Twain?
Yeah.
Great Mark Twain reference.
So we have three rabbis here. We have Rabbi Yumi bar Chilkiah, Rabbi Chilkiah bar Tuvia, Rabbi Zuna bar Chia, Rabbi Yasvi Gabayada. They're sitting together. Amri, they say, does anyone know anything about Kfar of Egypt? Lema, let him say something. So Pasach Chad Minai, one of them says, "Okay, I have a story from there." This is a story about a man and a woman that were betrothed, that were taken captive, and after they were taken captive, they were like put together as a couple. Amrullah, she says to him, "Please, I request, Al-Tigabi, don't touch me, because we don't have a marriage document, we don't have a ksuba." And the rule is that they're not supposed to be together without a ksuba. It's a rabbinic law. He didn't touch her until the day he died. Shemeis, when he died, Amra Lehen, she says to them, give a eulogy for this person that mocked his Yetzirah even more than Yosef. He didn't take his Yetzirah serious. Yosef had one opportunity to sin with the wife of Potiphar.
To each other?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Really? Yeah. And this one was every day had the temptation. They didn't sleep in the same bed, but here they slept in the same bed. But Yosef, she wasn't a nida, she was just didn't have a ksuba. And Yosef, it wasn't his wife, this was his wife. Nevertheless, he controlled himself. One of the other sages said, "I have another story from this city. There was a story that there were 40 measurements of wheat cost 1 dinar. The price went up because now it was 40 for only. Now it was 1 dinar for only 39. It means the price went up, right? Well, Batko Matzah, they found, they searched, like, why did this happen? Matzah, they found, Avu B'nai Shabal Naram Rasa B'Yom Kippurim. Father and the son that lived with a betrothed girl on Yom Kippur. They deal in the Bezdin of Saklam, they brought them to Bezdin and they gave them, they stoned them. The Chazar Shalom came and then the price went back. Other one said,
inflation is caused by
sin.
Yeah. Is that what we have today?
You're supposed to take messages. The person that he was going to divorce his wife, but she cost too much to divorce. The lawyers? No, it wasn't the lawyers. It was the ksuba. So what did he do? He invited his friends, and he got them, he gave them to drink, got them drunk. He had them all sleep in the same bed. I guess his wife was included in that. He brings the white of an egg, and he puts it between them, and he brings witnesses. Look over there, It looks like this semen. Bala Bezdin comes to Bezdin. There was one elder there that was a student of Shammai Azakin. Baba Ben Buta, his name was Baba Ben Buta. Amar Lahem, he says, Kach Mekablani Mishamai Azakin. I heard from Shammai Azakin that Luban Beya Sailed Minar Shechvazer Deich Minar. There's a way of checking this. You can do an experiment. You can take you put it in front of the heat, and if it's from an egg, it will turn like a crust. And if it's turn to omelet. If it's shechla zera, it will get absorbed into the cloth instead of becoming like a crust on top. But they found exactly that he was correct. Got absorbed. They revealed the best, and they brought this fellow to best of Cool. They gave him lashes, big book, and they took the ksuba from him. Amalei Abayel or Rabbi Yosef. So Abayel says to Rabbi Yosef, they're such great people that because of one sin, everything changes. It wasn't like the whole corruption. Everyone was tzaddikim. They just found this one thing. My time Yanish, why were they punished? Because they were destroyed. Amalei Mishum Yaval Yerushalayim, because they didn't mourn over Yerushalayim. The Tziv Simchas Yerushalayim with Dilaba. Rejoice of Yerushalayim. Kol Yaveh Sisu Ita Mesais. All those that love her will rejoice with her. Rejoice all those that mourned over her. So if they mourned over her, mourned over Yerushalayim, then you have to rejoice. Everyone has to get their kinnis ready. No, this is like that.
It's like Chazor and Bedimah.
Right, exactly. We'll have Mashiach in for Tisha B'Av. Okay, Ashka the respect Charav Beitar. But because of the side of a carriage, Beitar was destroyed. Rabbi Nehigi called out Misyal Yinuka. Rabbi Nehigi, Ki Havi Misyal Yinuka. The custom was that when a boy was born, Shasli Arza, they would plant a cedar. Yinukta, when a girl was born, Shasli Ternisa, they would plant a female cedar.
Cypress.
A cypress. A pine. Actually, Rashi says it's a pine. Pine. Rashi says pine.
Our school says pine.
Tornita. Several opinions.
Yeah, well, acacia is a type of, according to the Gemara, acacia is a type of cedar. Gemara, we had a Gemara somewhere that says there's 10 types of cedar, but one of them was acacia. Kiavi Mintavi, when these would get married, so Kaitilo, they would cut down those trees, Vavdu Ganana, and they would make a chuppah. Yeah, someone gave me a card once for my birthday. It says, in honor of your birthday, you planted a tree in Israel, and your date to water is on Wednesday. And that's what that was, this card that they gave me. Anyway, so they would cut down, and they would make it into a chuppah. Yom Echad, one time, Abikapalfa Brati, the case of the daughter of the Caesar, was going Itbar Saka the Rispa. Well, what does Saka mean? What does it say over there? Shaft of the carriage. Side. Okay, that's what we were talking about. Oh, Asaka. Saka is the side. Before we we're calling it Asaka. Thus, on the side, or because of the side. Now it's Saka the Rispa, the side of the carriage. Katsu Arza, so they cut down a cedar, and they gave it to her. Also, everyone came running and they hit her. Or hit them, looks like. Hit them or hit her. Hit them. Beat them. Also, Amalei case, they went told the Caesar, they're rebelling, they're beating us. Also, Elias comes on them, and I guess he destroys them. War. God the Bechariaf, Kol Karen Yisrael, he cuts down with anger all the horn of Israel. Amr Rab Zeir, Amr Rab Bo, Amr Rab Yechman. Rab Zeir says, name Rab Bo, name Rab Yechman, Shmuel El Karni Mal Chamash Shulakras Beisar, Joshlachtu. This is the 80,000 horns of battle that came into Beitar, and when it was captured, and they killed men, women, and children. There was a river that flowed into the sea, to the Mediterranean. Shema Taimar Krevais, maybe you want to say, well, it was right next to the Mediterranean. No, it says Rechaike Smil, it was a mile away. Tanya Rebbe Lezer Gadolaima, Rebbe Lezer Gadol says, Shnei Nechalim Yesh Bikas Yadayim. In this place called Bikas Yadayim, there were two streams. Echad Meishachelech, one went this way, Echad Meishachelech, one went that way. Shir Chacham Shnei Chalakim Ayim Echad Dam. The sages said that two parts were water, one part was blood. Masnisa Tana, thought in the Brisa, Sheva Shanim, Batzrev Dechames Kameim Midam Shal Yisrael B'lei Zevel. There were 7 years that the non-Jews harvested their vineyards because of the blood of the Jews, and they didn't even need fertilizer. We're on top of 57. Amr Pia Baravan Amr B'Shua Ben Karcha. Pia Baravan says, name Rabbi Shua Ben Karcha. Sachli Zakin Echem Yanshi Yerushalayim. An old man from the people of Yerushalayim told me, the Bikazu Harag Nivuzrad Rab Tabachim Masayim Vachas Esrei Ribay. Nivuzradan, who was one of the generals, the chief butcher, he's called. He killed 2.1 million. Yeah, the way it's written is 211,000 in Ba'achas Esrei and 11,000. It's not 2.1. It's
211 myriads.
Yeah.
You know what a myriad is?
2 million and 110,000. Okay, on that spot, in that valley, in Jerusalem, he killed 940,000. 11 achas on one stone. Until the blood flowed until it reached the blood of Zechariah. Fulfilled the verse, the blood touched the other blood. He found the blood of Zechariah. It was boiling up. Amar, he says, "My, what's this?" Amrle, they said to him, "It's the blood of the sacrifices that got spilled." They didn't want to tell him. Why didn't they want to tell him?
It was a shameful act.
Okay. I see Dama Vlayidmi, he brought another animal, he killed it, and the blood did not match. Amalahu, he says, I'm recently mutiv. If you tell me, then good. Bilav, if you don't tell me, the parsley, I'll break your skin with iron rakes. Amalei, my name Allah. What should we tell you? The Viyaya have a bun, we had a prophet. He was rebuking us. Matters of heaven. We got up against him and we killed him. It's already many years that his blood has not rested. It's bubbling. He says to them, I'm going to appease it. He brings the Sanhedrin, the greater Sanhedrin, 71, the 23 judges. He kills them by the blood, but the blood is still bubbling. Boys and girls he kills. He brings the school children. Kills them. The blood is still bubbling. He says, I already killed. You already lost the best. Should I make everyone get lost? When he said this, no, it stopped. Be shy to hear tshuva b'daite. At this time, he has regret. Amar, he says, if this is what happens to one person, they killed one person, the prophet, who gathered the kanish, masalachas kama v'kama. Can you imagine what's going to happen to me? I'm not sure exactly what he means by this. For one person such, what does this mean? I guess that the blood was bubbling because they killed just him. Now he killed so many people. What is that?
See the other side of the tapestry.
So, Arak, he runs away. Azal, he goes. Shadar Shtar Partis Ababese sends back a will to his house to be Gayer, and he converted. Tana was taught in a brisa. Naaman ger Toshavaya. Naaman was a ger Tosh. Naaman was the one that had leprosy. He was the general of, what was it? Was it Ammon? What nation was he from? Naaman. He was from a neighboring nation, from Ammon. Aram. He was from Aram. Aram, and he came over to get healed, and he converted. And it was Radin Ger Tzedekah. Naaman was a Ger Toshav. He didn't convert. He settled. It was Radin Ger Tzedekah. It was Radin was a real convert. The Bnei of Shal Haman, from the descendants of Haman, Lamdu Torah b'Bnei Brak. They studied Torah in Bnei Brak from his grandson, Bnei
because his son died.
Right. The Bnei Banav, there's a question on this. There's a source that says you're not allowed to accept converts from Amalek. There's a question on this Gemara, but anyway, someone said that it's supposed to be the Bnei Banav Shel Achan from the Torah Bnei Brak. I saw this comment. It's supposed to be Achan was the one that took the spoils from Yericha. You remember that Yeshua kills him. Chata Yisrael. Remember? Anyway, the commentary that said this, he says, with this I'm fulfilling Achan. He says, with this I'm fulfilling the verse of Timcha Zecher Amalek. Because it says over here. Anyway, it's a pun. So because it says that it's the descendants of Haman, but he's changing the not Haman, it's Achan. He says, I'm wiping out Amalek. Anyway, Mibnei Banav Shel Sisra.
I thought you were saying the opposite, which is whoever, if there's supposed to be Amalek, whoever erased it from Amalek.
So Mibnei Banav Shel Sisra Lamda Torah b'Yerushalayim. They studied Torah in Yerushalayim, the descendants of Sisra. Sisra was the one that Devorah and Barak fought against. Mibnei Banav Shel Sancherev Lamda Torah b'Rabim. They taught Torah in public.
He's like this. He's so crazy.
Man Inon. Who are these people? Shmai Vavtalion, the two great sages. I know the Ksiv and Asatias Damal Tzchiach Sela Levilti Kases.
Wait, only that was one of the last?
The last ones, I think. Sancherev, yeah. I know they were descendants of Sancherev.
For some reason, I always remember that I was
Oh, really?
No, I thought.
I think it was Sancherev. I put their blood on a smooth rock so that it doesn't get absorbed.
All these devils got their descendants to become teachers, and what does that even mean?
That's the world. It's the same thing today. Someone just said it, Rabbi Gross. This is just kind of like someone says something. I know hundreds.
Hundreds
of Gairin.
Right.
They're not just Gairin. This is like the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
They became teachers.
No? You're dying.
Are you saying what?
No, when it comes to a convert, you don't have to be concerned about the lineage. It's a convert. It's good. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Avram Avinu, we just Pesach.
No, and on one hand, a convert's lineage is better because it's for sure it's good. You don't know, there's no mamzeros, there's nothing. It's perfect.
Starts fresh.
Starts fresh.
Fresh, baby.
Okay.
Even if it's known that the convert is probably the daughter of his father, the convert himself is inbred in some way.
Yeah, but they start new.
Start new.
Kol Yaakov vayadayim Yosef. I mean, you can ask a question on that because Rivka didn't want to take from this one because of the character in this, and obviously they were going to convert, but nevertheless, it could be their character. You still have to look at character. Don't just ignore their character. You have to check character. But you check their own character, not the.
As it comes up, something the parameters to cut the trouble stuff.
Right. The voice is the voice of Yaakov, the hands are the hands of Esav. Akol, when it says the voice, Adrianus Kesar, Jarg Balachzander Shel Mitzrayim, Shishim Riboy, Keflaim Ketz Mitzrayim. This was when they davened because of Adrianus's Hadrian. Hadrian was a For Rome, he was a good emperor, but for the Jews, he was not. He was very bad, very, very bad to the Jews. He killed in Alexandria of Egypt 600,000 on 600,000. I don't know what it means on 600,000. I guess it means times 600,000. No, that can't be that because it says double what came out of Egypt. What does it mean?
On top of.
On top of. Okay, plus.
I'm just.
Kol Yaakov. What does it mean? The voice of Yaakov. Ze Aspasianus. Aspasianus is Vespasian. Okay, so Shag Bekrach Beitar Abameus Ribe killed 400,000 in Beitar, not 400,000. 4 million, right? 4 million. Armilar Bar Salafim Riba, and some say it's 40 million. By Yadayim de Yesav, Zu Malchus Rasha, the hands of Esav, this is referring to the wicked kingdom, which is, I guess, Rome. They destroyed our temple and they exiled us. Another interpretation of Kol Yaakov, the voice is the voice of Yaakov. There's no tefillah there's no prayer that's effective. That doesn't have a descendant of Yaakov in a prayer, like praying. The hands of Esav. There's no battle. That's no battle that's victorious. That doesn't have a descendant of Esav in there. Right. This Rabbi Lazar says, "B'sait lashon techabe." With the stick of the tongue, they hide. With the quarreling of the tongue, they hide. Now, what does that mean?
Slander.
Now, what does that have to do with Kol Yaakov? Rashi explains.
Using our.
Oh, this is going back to Kamton, Bar Kamton. Yeah. Okay. Some say it's speaking the words of prayer. Okay. Rav Yehuda Marav. Rav Yehuda says name Rav Maidik Seval Naris Bavel by the rivers of Babylon. Sham Yashavnu. There we sat. Gambachino. We cried. Bezachinu Sin when we remembered Zion. Malamed is teaches us Shehara Kadosh Baruch Hu David. Hashem showed David Korban by his Rishon and Korban by his Sheni, and David was making the psalm. A lot of people ask, how can you make the psalm? He didn't even have the exile. There was no exile in David's days. How does it end up in Tehillim? No, Hashem showed David the korban, first korban, the second korban by his Rishon, and the first korban Shneimar al Naris Bavel Sham Yishavnu Gambachino. And the rivers of Babylon. That was by the first exile. That was the first by Yesheni. Remember Hashem, children of Edom, which is the Romans, the day of Jerusalem when they said that what is Aru, like plow it over? What is it? Raise it until the foundation. Rav Yehuda says the name of Shmuel.
Raised with the sea.
Yeah, raised with it.
Different.
No, but I raised. He's so rare. He's raised with an S.
No, over here it means to destroy. Yeah.
So we say service.
Yeah, that's the rare. That's with sorry. Yeah, it's the beginning. I'm the Masisa Tana, Maisa Bidalid Meas Yeladim Yeladish Shanishpul Lakalin. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Shmuel, some say it was a Rami, some say it was a Brisa. There's a story of 400 boys and girls that were captured for something shameful. The they knew already, they realized what they're being taken for. Amru, they said, they asked, if we drown ourselves, we're going to go to the world to come. So the oldest of them said, Amar Hashem, Hashem says, from Bashan I will return from the depths of the sea. From Bashan I will return. I will return you from the mouth of the lion, from the teeth of the lion. Mitzulas Yam, I'll return you from the depths of the sea. Even those that drown themselves in the sea, you'll have the world to come. Even Shashamu Yaldiskaf, when the girls heard this, Kaftu Kulam enough Yam, they all jumped into the sea, committed suicide. Nasu Yaladim Kalvachem Batsman. So the boys said like this: Amru, they said, Mahalal Shadarkan Lakaf. The girls, they were going to have, they were going to be used which would have been the normal act. Kachano for us, the kach is it supposed to be lekach bekach?
Lekach.
Unnatural.
No, Shadarka lekach. Kach.
Yeah, you're right. Kachano. Lekach. So kachano. This would have been like an abnormal relations. Yeah. So Afim Kaftul Techayam, they also jumped into the Sivalayam Kasvaimer, guarding them. The Pasuk says, because on you we were killed the whole day, because for you, they killed the whole day. We were like sheep taken out to be killed. Rabbi Yehuda says, Isha the Shiva Banea. This is a woman and her 7 sons. We know the story as Chana. Right? Asur Kamala Kameh the Caesar. The first one was brought in front of the Caesar. Now, we heard the story with Hanukkah, that it was Hanukkah, but this may be a different story. Or maybe the whole Hanukkah story wasn't the Hanukkah story. Whatever. I mean, it could be what we have over there. No exact date is given of this event. It's told in the second book of Hasmoneans, in the great deal, the 4th book of Hasmoneans. It's reported that this took place in Antioch during the reign of Antiochus. In the book of Hashmonaim, it says that it took place during the time of Antiochus. Okay, the first one comes in front of the Caesar. Amalei, bow down to the idol, worship the idol. Amalei, it says in the time, Hashem your God. They took him out, they killed him. The coming the case of the second son was brought in. Bow down. It says there should not be any other gods in front of me. They took him out, they killed him. Bow down to the idol. It says in the Torah, you sacrifice to an idol is put to death. Is that they took him out and they killed him. They brought another one. You're not allowed to bow to another god. They brought another one. Bow down to the idol. He says, it says in the Torah, there's only one God, this in Israel. They took him out, they killed him. They brought in, this is the youngest one, I think. They brought in the youngest one. Bow down to the idol. It says in Torah, no, this is the 6th one. There's no other God. They brought the youngest one. Bow down to the idol. It says, Hashem, you chose. Hashem Hemir Chayim, and Hashem chose you. You chose Hashem. Hashem chose you. It's a complicated word over there, but whatever it is. So, we already swore to God, we're not going to switch him for another God. And he swore to us that he won't trade us in. I'm just going to throw my signet ring. The gachin, bow down, b'shaklei, and pick it up. That people should say, you've accepted the wishes of the king. Amalei, he said, Chaval alach Caesar, woe unto you, Caesar. Chaval alach Caesar, like shame on you, Caesar. Al kavod atzmocha kach, you're worried about your own honor. Al kavod HaKadosh Baruch Hu alachas kam v'kam, you should for sure be worried about the honor of God. Afkul amikli, they took him out to get killed. Amr lahu, Ame, the mother says to him, Amra lahu Ame, the mother says to them, which means to all the sons, I guess. Oh, carrying him out. Oh, to people carrying him out. Yavu Nali, bring him to me. Anashki Porta, I want to give him a small kiss.
No, so she said to Caesar, let me just have him before you bring him out. I want him a small kiss. And then she mentions.
Okay, but Amr lahu, she says to them.
Who is?
No, Lay is thinking. Who is them?
The Caesar and his entourage.
And it's whoever was there. Yeah. Oh, you're saying
Hebrew.
you're saying
Who is he? He or she?
no, but that's the possessive. That's not just a pronoun. It would have been a pronoun. You're maybe you're talking about because it was royalty. They do it in plural, but that's not so common.
The
Well,
royal we.
Right. So I want to kiss him. Amrullah, Amrullah. She says to him, B'ni, my son, or B'nai, actually my sons, right? Oh, B'nai with 2 years. Okay, my son. L'chuv Amrullah Avram Avichem. Go tell your father Avram. Ata karatim mizbeach echad. You made 1 altar. Avani karati shiva mizbechais. I made 7 altars. I bound up. Afi also legag. She went up to the roof and she fell and she died. Yatzabaskov Amra, a voice comes out from heaven, Ema Banim Smecha, the mother of sons that rejoices. Rabbi Shubin Levi Amar Zumila Shnit Mishmini. Shubin Levi says, Alecha Ragnu Chalayim, we were killed all day. That's referring to the Mila, which is on the, because everyone has a bris. Well, sometimes the child dies as well. These are the sages that are showing the laws of shchita. They're using the neck as to show how to do it. Well, Damar Rava says, "Call me leftinis ben nafshe." Person can show himself in any way. You can show, like, use an example for himself. Bar mishchita v'davarach, except for shchita and leprosy. You're not supposed to show that on yourself. Like, you're not supposed to demonstrate. It's not literal, it's figurative. They kill themselves over Divrei Torah. Words of Torah don't last unless someone kills himself over it. As it says, this is the Torah, a person that dies in the tent, to the tent of Torah. Okay, let's leave it over here.
It's colloquial. It's killing you all this stuff.
I heard someone say, with the phone, person nowadays, he doesn't understand it. We should use